Hey, what's going on? This is Jake Likewise. Today I want to talk about the push transition in Adobe Premiere Pro and how we can take that transition to the next level by adding some motion blur. Now there's a couple different ways that you can do this, but I'll show you the most effective way that I found to do it, and I'll show you why. So let's level up. Okay, so here we are in Premiere Pro, and I've got my sequence set up. I've got 2 clips in my sequence, and that is really all we need to get started. So first clip, I've got a shot of Samson striking a pose right there. Second shot we're going to use is this nice shot of some muffins. So you can see a clear storyline and development here. First thing I'm going to do is grab my second clip. I'm going to snap that over to my first clip. You can see it's seamless there, no gaps. Then I'm going to run over to my effects panel and I'm going to type in push. Now that's the effect we're going to be using, the transition. And I'm going to drag that in between both clips and you'll see drop it right there. And there we are. We've got our push transition in place. I'll hit play. You can see that it works. Clearly not a desirable look. It looks really amateur. So let's figure out a couple ways that we can take this to the next level. First thing I'm going to do is I want these muffins to come into the other side, come from the other side of the screen. So I'm going to click into the push transition, come over here to the effects controls panel, and I'm going to checkbox right here, this reverse. And what that's going to do, it's going to flip my clips. So the muffins are now going to come in from the right side of the screen instead of the left. That's the look I'm going for. Certainly you can leave that checked or unchecked, however best fits your timeline. This is how I like it, and I'm also going to drag this transition to be much shorter. So I'm going to bring that down to, 8. I'm guessing that's frames. Real quick, so it happens real fast. Hit play again. And as you can see, it's a pretty harsh transition still. It's better than where we started, but I'm going to stop this in the middle. You can see this hard line right here, and that's not super desirable. So first thing I'm going to do is add an adjustment layer. Hit OK. I'm going to bring that adjustment layer into my sequence here, right above my transition. I'm going to scroll over, hit C on the keyboard to cut that adjustment layer. And I'm going to delete the part that we don't need. So you only need the adjustment layer right above your transition, however long it is. Okay, and then we're going to come over here to the effects panel again, and I'm going to search blur. Now you can see there's a lot of different options to blur, but the one we want is fast blur, and I'll show you why. I'm going to drag that fast blur into my adjustment layer, and I'm going to set some keyframes. So the way we can do that is have your adjustment layer selected. We're going to change the blurriness. So I'm going to go to the start of my clip, set a keyframe, this little stopwatch at 0. I'm going to go to the end of the frame. Make sure it snaps to the end here. Set another keyframe for 0. And what we want to do is come to the middle of that transition, right where the clips are swapping, right there. So I'm going to come to the middle. I'm going to add 75 for the blurriness. And I'm going to go one step further, select that keyframe, right click. I'm going to hit ease out. Select the end keyframe, right click, ease in. That's going to create a little smoother transition. You can see it's starting to get there. Full blur. But here's the reason why I want to select fast blur. So you can see around the edges here, there's this black kind of silhouette going on. And what's happening is the image is blurring and we're losing some pixels. So there's no additional frame beyond the corners here. So it's just filling it with black. There's no data there, nothing there. So what we can do in this fast blur is checkbox here, this repeat edge pixels. And you can see that silhouette disappearing when I check that on. So it's basically repeating the pixels on the edge to fill it in so that you actually don't notice it. If I uncheck that, kind of noticeable. You see this black frame come in and out. Check that, and now it is seamless. So we're in a good position here. Now there's one more thing that we can do. So we notice the motion is left to right, so it's horizontal motion. But we've got some vertical blur going. It almost doesn't feel natural. So what you can do is select the horizontal and vertical, and we'll just change it to horizontal. So you can see the blur is happening horizontally. It feels more natural. You know, like your camera is swiping left and right, you're not gonna get a lot of vertical blur. You're gonna get horizontal blur. Let me play that back one more time. And that's what we're going for. Quick, easy, smooth push transition. So again, the big thing is using fast blur so that you can repeat the edge pixels. You can change the blur dimensions to horizontal, vertical, whichever direction your camera movement is wanting to swipe. And of course, you can change the blurriness. And there you have it.